Hello again, I am Blunty and welcome to PonderPop Game Reviews. This time around we're having a look at Fable II, the much anticipated release from Microsoft and Lionhead Game Studios for the Xbox 360. So without further ado, let's get to it. If you're not already familiar with what Fable II is all about, then somehow, inexplicably, you've avoided all the press that's been going around in video game circles, and that in itself is an accomplishment worthy of celebration, because there's been a lot of it. First up, the game is indeed a sequel, but playing the first game is not a requirement, so relax. In the build-up to its launch, Fable II had hoisted my expectations even higher, thanks to the notoriously big-talking game designer Peter Molyneux, who has a well-deserved reputation for both being an innovative and talented game designer, but also for talking up his creations so much that the launch is an inevitable letdown. His games are almost always at least good, sometimes even great, but seldom completely live up to Mr. Molyneux's claims. Fable 2 is an exception. While it still does stumble just short of some of the wilder and perhaps slightly exaggerated claims made about it pre-launch, for me it's the first game from anyone in a very long time that hasn't left me feeling just a little bit lied to and cheated by the marketing. Fable 2 delivers one of, if not the best, RPG experiences I've ever played. Your character, and you can choose male or female, through the very act of playing the game will become truly and utterly unique to you and you only. Every nuance, every choice in battle and out, every decision you have to make will not only shape how your character grows and performs, but how he or she looks. And there are many choices to make. Not all of them are black and white choices between an obvious good guy and being the most villainous sod in the world. The game is filled with shades of moral grey and subtle influences, and through the main quest you're constantly challenged and forced to think about the wider complications and consequences of your every action. Even down to how fat you get depending on whether you decide to heal by eating apples and carrots or pies and rum. Having moral choices shape your game experience is not a new idea at all, but I've never seen it executed with more grace and subtlety in a game. Basically, Fable 2 does it better than anyone else has before. This continual evolution and evaluation of your character, combined with some of the truly wonderful storytelling, really does a fantastic job of absorbing you into the world of Fable 2. And in what is an exceedingly rare event for a video game, there were at least a few points in the game that really, honestly, emotionally moved me. Technically, the game is fairly decently put together as well. The environments are stunningly well detailed, the lighting and sound design work wonderfully. There are some annoying quirks like tiny stones that you'd assume you could simply step over or walk past, only to be met with the most annoying thing in 3D gaming: the inexplicably invisible wall. The end of the map, the impassable point which looks completely passable. Annoying, but not the sole territory of this game either. It happens in just about every 3D free-roaming game you can name. And in this one, at least you don't run across it too often. There's a glowing breadcrumb trail that can lead you to your next quest or event. Your faithful dog serves both as a kind of in-game radar, letting you know where to find treasure, and growling in warning of ambush, and both work wonderfully in avoiding the kinds of inelegant on-screen displays and mini-maps and all that kind of rubbish that you see in some other games, and making the whole experience a bit more natural feeling and organic. And without giving too much away, there are certain choices you can make in the game that may leave you without your faithful canine companion, and you will miss him, not just for his function in the mechanics of the game, but because he's your dog. The game feels just a little empty and lonely once he's gone. The controls are another shining point of the game design. The combat system is all but perfect. You can switch between either close-up melee combat, ranged weapons, and magic in a heartbeat, each assigned to just one button, with the power or style of the attack determined by how long you press. It's an absolutely seamless arrangement, and it works flawlessly in-game. Despite sounding oversimplified, the level of finesse, strategy, and creativity you can accomplish in battle is beautiful and thoroughly enjoyable. Fable 2 is a game that's quite difficult to give a complete and thorough review of. I could easily go on and on about this game for quite some time. There are many levels of very deep layers and elegant complexity that unfold constantly. As with most good RPG games, the story of your character is not over once you fulfill the main quest and complete the core story, which can be done in around 12 hours of gameplay if you're in a hurry, or you can let it unfold much more slowly if you take the time to explore and take advantage of the many side quests available, interact with the non-playing characters in the game, maybe start a family. all that kind of stuff. And there are many more quests and adventures that open up only after you've completed the main story. The truest test of any RPG game is what is its replay value. And Fable II has it in spades, simply because you will want to play through at least twice, just to see how differently the story flows when you choose the path not taken the first time, evil or good, corrupt or pure. What would happen if you just went on a killing spree and shot everyone in the local market right in their face? Because you can do that, if you wanna. In short, Fable 2 has a story that is well written and involving. The technical execution is, at its best, beautiful, and at its worst, merely adequate. The quests and puzzles are entertaining and engaging. The overall experience is definitely worth the price of admission. Alright, look, let's cut the love fest short here, shall we? What I'm basically saying in my seemingly unending praise for this game is the game is awesome, and it's probably going to be easily rated amongst the best games of the year. If you're into RPGs, check this game out. If you're not into RPGs and want something to sort of ease you into the experience, get this game. You're going to have fun. Catch you next time.
You're like a giant of our time, set to bestride the history books. Yippee!